I don't usually script these things, and I'm not scripting it once again. I like to speak from my heart. I like to have a flow of my thoughts, undiluted, pure, straight from my heart. And that's what I'm speaking from, or where I'm speaking from now, once again. And I'm not going to qualify this. I've talked about this before, but this time around, I'm not going to qualify it with, Victor, he's a great player. He's one of the best players in the world. I'm a big fan. I love him, but I need to say the truth or whatever. Forget all of that. I'm going to speak. And as you can already tell, I'm upset. I'm very upset. I'm very upset because I feel very disrespected as a Nigerian. I feel very disrespected as a fan of the Super Eagles. And I wonder how the other players are feeling. If us as fans are feeling this way, we are upset. I am upset. I'm angry. But I'm also upset, not just about Victor's conduct, but about the people who continue to encourage this behavior. There has to be a point where you draw the line and say, no. No ifs, buts, or maybes. This is wrong. This is nonsense. And guy, you must be called out and there must be consequences. Me, I'm not afraid of elimination. No be AFCON. We don't win them before. And we can win it again. With or without Victor, we can. We won AFCON with Mba. There was no Sazel Dewinge in that team. But we won it, didn't we? We did. In the previous tournaments, we had all the stars, whatever, we didn't win it. It's when we had Sunday Mba, that we won it. And that's that. Tournaments work like that. There is no player that is too big, because the most important thing is squad harmony. You need squad harmony. You don't want a disruptive influence. You don't want someone who is making all his teammates feel stupid for even existing. Feel like they're not good enough. They're not up to par. You're not at my level. There's a disdain that Victor relates with his teammates with on the field that upsets me a lot. I remember the Tunisia game. Within the first 10 minutes, Victor was already complaining about not getting a pass. 10 minutes, bro. And he was offside. And he does that a lot. You're offside, you're calling for the ball, you don't get the ball because the person can clearly see that you're offside and you throw a tantrum. Okay, even when you are onside or whatever, sometimes the ball doesn't get to you. You can complain. I have no problem with you complaining. Like, come on, you should have passed, or everybody does it. I've played football, I've done it. They've done it to me. But there's a line you don't cross. Now, of course, we will talk about the fact that Victor does this so much. He basically nags his teammates the entire game every time the ball doesn't get to him. That's a problem. It's different if it's 1 or 2 times when you don't get the ball and you're frustrated and you're like, guy, should have passed. But when it becomes a recurrent issue, every game, everybody can see it. Everybody keeps talking about it. Guy, this guy is always complaining, always shouting at his teammates. I've seen him shout at Akko multiple times. I've seen him shout at Bruno now, Lookman, like, dude. And on top of that, there's a disregard. Your captain comes and tells you to calm down. And you just like, I don't get it. But again, it comes down to this. We are a country without an understanding of consequences. Consequences exist for 2 reasons. To correct behavior in order to improve it, but to also serve as a deterrent so that behavior is not repeated. But we don't seem to understand that. We believe that once we love a player, once a player is great or whatever, and this even transcends football into other things. Once you love someone, once you're a fan of someone, you cannot criticize. You can allow certain things go. I understand giving grace to certain players who have done certain things, but when the problem becomes recurrent and when certain lines are crossed, you don't let it go. There's no grace to be given in that. The grace should come after the consequence. Like, we're going to give you grace and allow you come back. It shouldn't come before the consequences. You simply cannot do certain things. And the reason why we're here is because they have been condoning, we as a people have been condoning a lot of nonsense. People are afraid to call out Victor Osimhen. I don't get it. I understand it if you are directly benefiting from him, and of course, or maybe you know him personally and is your guy. Obviously, I don't expect you to come out and be very, vitriolic in your criticism. But I also expect you to shut up. Like, it's better not to say anything than to encourage that behavior. What we do is we encourage it. Victor Ekpeba said something. It wasn't even criticism at all. It wasn't even praising him, but it was like, if he had done something different here, if he had opted for an easier finish here, I think that was when Victor attempted an overhead kick and missed. And Victor Ekpeba now was like, if he had attempted an easier finish, which is what Owen told Darwin as well, maybe he would have had a better chance of scoring. Very, very fair criticism. Victor went at him, blasted him and everything. The irony being that Victor Ekpeba in his time was sent away from AFCON. I can't remember what the incident was. I think he was angry at being substituted or something. I can't remember. But after our first game against Tunisia in 2000, Ekpeba was sent away. Or if I remember correctly, he was brought back. And then he missed the penalty. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. He missed a penalty in the final against Cameroon. But from what I remember, he was angry at being substituted or something happened behind the scenes and they kicked him out of camp. And then they brought him back later in the tournament. Nobody looked at him and said, Prince of Monaco, you can do whatever you want. Because as they kicked him out, guess who helped us in the quarterfinal game against Senegal when we were losing? It was Julius Agawa, who was a smallie in that team. He came on and took us to the next stage. For the semi-final of that tournament, we didn't have JJ Okocha. He was suspended because he collected a red card against Senegal. JJ Okocha. And what did we do? We beat South Africa with Tijani Babangida, who came in for him, absolutely destroying everything. Destroying that South African defense. It took them to the cleaners. Again, you can see the pattern. In 2004, Christian Chukwu kicked out Babayaro, Agali, and Yakubu. Yakubu and Agali are two strikers. But guess what? When he did that, in the group stage, after the first game against Morocco that we lost, we came into the game against South Africa staring elimination in the face. And what happened? Osaze Odengi came into that team and laid a mark. He made his mark. And we won that game 4-0 against South Africa. And we went all the way to the semi-finals. Without Agali and Yakubu. Yakubu was one of the hottest strikers in Europe at the time. And we said, you know what, we'll do it without him. And that's how it works. Consequences. You cannot allow some kind of behavior or some kinds of behavior. You cannot. When the Finidi thing happened, I talked about it that time, and there were certain people that were saying, I beg, he has every right to be angry, blah, 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 blah. And I said, there's a proper way to do things. First thing you do is even verify the story that you're reacting to. Then after that, person no fit talk to you. Nobody can talk to you. The hell. And this is the same thing I will say for every player that I love. I don't care. Trust me, you can go and ask anybody in my life. They think I'm a loose cannon because of that. Or like because I like to draw lines. There are lines you don't cross. I like to draw those lines. I don't care who you are. I don't care. There are lines that you don't cross. And when you cross them, there have to be consequences. So that to serve as a deterrent, I need to correct that behavior. And I'm doing it in love. I am. Nigeria are no small, oh. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are no small. Nobody can hold us hostage. Not a single person. And nobody should be allowed to. Nobody should be allowed to think that he's so big that nobody can talk to him, that he can request to be substituted and walk out on the team, and it's okay because you are afraid that you will lose your next match. No deterrent, nothing. Have you seen us start Victor? Well, let us play the match. If we lose, we lose. Forget. Scatter everything. There will be another AFCON. We'll come back. It's not AFCON. We'll win it. Ghana at AFCON. Ghana at AFCON. But they will go again the next one. That's how it works. We missed AFCONs before. We lost the final the last time with Victor in the team. Victor scored 1 goal in that tournament. His teammates didn't come at him and berate him that he's the reason why they lost. They recognized his efforts. But he scored 1 goal. And it was in the first game against Equatorial Guinea. The first game, he didn't score again. But he was putting in the effort, he was working, and everybody recognized that. But nobody held him and said, oh, but you didn't score. Therefore, you are the problem. They give you chances, they give you balls, you miss it, and nobody complains. And even if anybody is complaining, it's part of the game. You play on, but you don't escalate it. What he did, the way he spoke to Bruno, to Lookman, it was already a problem, especially because he has prior incidents where he's doing the same thing to different teammates, always doing that every game. Since the first game, Tanzania, he complained, he moaned the entire game, he looked so desperate for a goal. And we're like, yeah, we get it that you want to make your mark, you want to score, but still calm down. Second game against Tunisia, he was doing that, but he scored. Then he now went to fight an opponent or point at an opponent and whatever and give it back. And he collected a yellow card. And we talked about that as well. Third game, he was doing that same thing. I've seen him shout at Akos so many times. Yes, you are a leader, you're trying to get his head in the game or whatever, whenever you want. But what Victor is doing is not about the team. It's a very selfish thing where it's about why you no pass give me. Even if you're in a better position to score, even if you see, a different route or whatever, even if you're not being selfish, maybe you have looked and seen that he's offside or something. He doesn't care. Even if it was a difficult pass to make, he doesn't care. You're putting pressure on your teammates to always pass you the ball, even when it's not on. And then you are shouting at them. There's a way you're talking to them that is very, very annoying. Obviously, somebody is going to blow up at some point. I know that a lot of players seem to be scared of giving it back to him, which is why I liked that Lookman went at him and told him, guy, what is this? You've already scored 2 goals. Why are you so impatient and upset? Like, yes, there will be plays that don't add up sometimes, but you've scored 2 goals, right? And there's a way you can talk about it, like, Bruno, how far now? Pass. But not the one where... Did you see the way he was talking to that guy? And then after that, for me, this is where the line out got crossed proper. He stopped running for 4 minutes. 3-4 minutes. Osimhen stopped running, making runs. There was one ball that went to our core and he was waiting for Osimhen to make the run, and Osimhen didn't move. They just stood there. Like, okay. Really? And then after that, he now requested to be substituted. So he refused to, he basically quit on the team and then asked to be substituted. And then walked out as soon as the match ended, ignoring the team huddle. Like, you are so special. Victor, I know you will not watch this, but I don't care. I'm just going to say it anyway. Victor, we know small. We are not Lesotho. I know we drew Lesotho, but we are not Lesotho. We are not Zimbabwe. All due respect. We are not even South Africa. South Africa don't reach us. The number of teams that can go neck and neck with the Super Eagles in terms of history, pedigree, and everything, they have no past 3. They are no more than 3. Egypt. Cameroon. Egypt and Cameroon, those are 2 of the 3 teams. They are no more than 3. I will not even give Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. I no agree. But they can sit with us. I no agree. Ghana's first World Cup was 2006. That time we used to mock them. 2006. They couldn't, like, I beg. The Super Eagles no small. We have seen legends come and go. Me, I've been watching the Super Eagles since the 90s. I'm still a young man, by the way, but I've been watching the Super Eagles since the 90s. I've seen players come and go. I've seen legends. I've seen great players. I've seen... Come on. Nigeria, this is the country of Mudashiru Lawal, of Christian Chukwu, chairman, of Adoki Amesimaka, of Segun Odegbami, of Stephen Keshi. Are you joking? Of Rashidi Yekini, of Sunday Oyarekwa, of Sam Garba Okoye. Are you joking? We are not a team that is big. That our biggest player is Knowledge Musona, and we are grateful that he's even playing. We don't beg anybody. We don't beg anybody. Nobody is so great that the person now becomes bigger than the team that we are afraid of, laying down consequences. Nobody. This guy has disrespected legends. For what? Legends that have done more than you for the national team, that have imposed themselves on tournaments, that have played at the World Cup and shown themselves there and scored. You are disrespecting legends and then disrespecting your teammates and acting like you are the first great player to come out of the country. My guy, we've had loads of great players, like hundreds of them. Hundreds. We've had legends, we've had stars, we've had special players. We've had them all. Nigeria are no small. My Super Eagles are not small. We are not small. We've had great players. We've dominated tournaments. We've reached 16 AFCON semi-finals. Are you joking? We are level with Egypt for the most AFCON semi-finals. We've made the top 3 the most times. We've never come fourth. First, second, third. That's more than Egypt as well. First, second, third. We're always there. AFCON is pure water for us in terms of at least going deep. We've not converted going deep into wins as much as we should have. But we are always there. They know it's heritage. Nigeria is not a small team. We are not begging anybody. We are not, Benjani played for us, so let's give him everything because we might not see another Benjani in another 100 years. We don't do that. We will have talents that will keep coming through. We have too many talented players in this country that are coming through, that will come through, that have come through. We don't beg anybody. The Super Eagles, come on. And every player on that pitch has the same rights as you. Every player. They are representing their country too. Not be only you, they represent your country. Not be only you get passion. You're not the only one with passion. Everybody get passion. Everybody can get angry. You don't have a monopoly on anger at not receiving the ball. You don't have a monopoly on anger. And if this is still allowed to fly, we're going to have a problem. I'm pretty radical with these things. But they say that maybe I should be more diplomatic or whatever. But me, when I feel like I'm undermined in things like this, I will walk away. That is talking from the perspective of a coach. Or I will do what I want to do. If you want to sack me, sack me. I will enter that quarterfinal. I will play without Osimhen. I will bench him. And if we lose, we lose. After the whatever, you want to sack me, sack me. But because the minute you start to compromise as a coach and accept some certain things, you are on the path to a point where, imagine someone else now does that, you now want to punish the person. How can you punish the person when you didn't punish Victor for worse? You have to lay down a marker. It's not, you have to. Let there be consequences. Look, Mbappe did this thing once at PSG. There were consequences. There was a time Mbappe, I think he came late as well, or something. Chico benched him next game. And they were playing against Marseille in Le Classique. He benched him. Like, dude, get your head together. You can't do that. There have been players that have done it, and come on now. Brazil went to the World Cup without Romario. There was pressure. No. Spain went to Euro 2008 without Raul. They removed Raul from that team because they said he was a divisive influence. Everybody thought they were crazy. They thought Aragonés was crazy. Like, how do you drop Raul? You dropped Raul, you dropped Joaquin, who was one of the hottest wingers in the world at the time. But Raul was the big story. And Aragonés said, I will do it without you. And even if I don't win, it's fine. But I'm not going to have you here disrupting this team. And he did it. Do you know what Raul was at the time? Torres and Villa were nowhere near the level he was in terms of at least the clout and his level in the national team. Raul was God level in that national team. And they removed him. There was a campaign to force Aragonés to put him in that team. And Aragonés said no. And he went to that tournament without him. And he won it. Then Del Bosque came, didn't invite Raul back, and won the World Cup. What are we talking about? Romario has been dropped. Eric Cantona has been dropped. Cantona, do you know what Cantona was? Who is Victor? Where these people are in terms of what they've done in the game and the influence they wield. And they were dropped. So what are we saying? Why are we on our knees as if we've never been here before, as if we've never had great players before? That's the one that pains me. Like, can you people get some self-esteem? We're acting like we've never seen great players before, like we've never seen top players before. Get some self-esteem. We are the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We are Nigeria. We are heritage. No player should hold us hostage. Get some self-respect. Get it. If a player is going to be acting like this, walking out on his team, and you tell me that he should start the next game and they should just resolve it and talk over, then now it becomes okay to throw a tantrum, ask to be substituted in the 67th, 68th minute, 65th minute of a game, of a knockout game at a major tournament, asking to be substituted after first quitting on the team and not refusing to run for 4 minutes. Then you walk out, and then when the game is over, you step out, you don't do any interviews, you don't join the team huddle, you don't shake anybody, you walk away. In the knockout stage of a major tournament, there is no country that will not send you home. There is no country that will not send you home, especially a country with the status of Nigeria. There's no country that at the very least will not bench you the next game and tell you that, go and sit down. Shehata did it to Mido. Who are you? Mido was one of 3 European-based players in that Egyptian team. Every other person was playing in Egypt. Every other person. Osama San was 39. Mido thought it was too special. Like, come on, you people should be bowing down to me, because 2 of those 3 players were playing in Turkey. Mido was the only one playing in a big league. He was playing in the Premier League, and he thought it was special. And they were like, we will do this thing without you. Shehata said, no, you can't do this. You cannot. I don't care. You cannot. If we lose, we lose. But you cannot do this. Do you know who you are playing for? You are playing for Egypt. Heritage. Are you joking? We've won AFCON with Sunday Mba. We've won with home-based players in the team that people didn't even rate or know before the tournament. And they got the job done. It can happen. The most important thing in tournaments is that team bond, that cohesion. And we have our tactics right now. The setup is brilliant from Shell. It's working. We're looking irresistible. And so that means that we have less reliance on a Victor. We can win games without him. And that's okay. So for me, I want to see consequences. At the very least, let him be benched. Then let there be a conversation happening. Let them talk to him. Let him tell him, this guy, what are you doing? Let the OGs talk to him. Let the NFF president talk to him. Let the coach talk to him and tell him that this is not acceptable. We don't condone this nonsense. We do not. This is not acceptable. That has to happen. You have to nip this in the bud, because you cannot let this continue happening, there were no consequences for what he said to Finidi. And it's because we don't respect ourselves as a country. It's not about respecting elders or anything, Seth. It's not even down that path. It's that you went on a live and cussed out your national team coach. There's an institution in place. This is an institution. The national team is an institution. It's not about the individuals. It's an institution. You went and cussed out your national team coach on IG Live. For many countries, that's the end of your international career, no matter who you are. Or at least you will get banned for games, or you won't be called up for a while. But Nigeria, we're like, okay, just allow. He's just an emotional guy. He's just a passionate guy. This is how we condone nonsense. And I'm not with it. I don't care about your emotions and your passion or whatever. Channel it properly instead of disrupting the team. What's the point of your passion if it's disruptive? Your so-called, that's not passion to me. That's just selfishness. And a lack of control, of emotional control, of controlling your temperament. Do better, Victor Osimhen. I don't back this nonsense that you did. And I'm nobody. I know. I'm a nobody. I don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But me, I'm a Nigerian and I have every right to talk. And I will speak my mind. That thing where you do, nonsense. And you should be bent for it. There should be consequences.